guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel at Peterson Makeover. Today I'm joined by
and Precious.
We'll be checking out Jordan Peterson Destroys reporter on the gender pay gap, feminism and equality of outcome. Wow, there's a lot of things to talk about though.
I know, right?
But I love Jordan Peterson and his videos are always so educative. So without further ado, let's get started.
No, they're not being taught that it's important to develop yourself.
But does it bother you that your audience is predominantly male? Isn't that a bit divisive?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's no more divisive than the fact that YouTube is primarily male and Tumblr is
that's pretty
primarily
divisive,
female.
isn't it?
Tumblr is primarily female.
But you're just saying that's the way it is.
Well, I'm not saying anything. It's just an observation that that's the way it is. There's plenty of women that are watching my lectures and coming to my talks and buying my books. It's just the majority of them happen to be men.
What's in it for the women, though?
Well, what sort of partner do you want? You want an overgrown child? Or do you want someone to contend with that's going to help you and that
So
you
you're
can
saying
rely on?
women have some sort of duty to sort of help fix the crisis of masculinity?
It depends on what they want. No, I mean, it's exactly how I laid it out. Like, women deeply want men who are competent and powerful. And I don't mean power in that they can exert tyrannical control over others. That's not power. That's just corruption. Power is competence. And why in the world would you not want a competent partner? Well, I know why, actually. You can't dominate a competent partner. So if you want domination...
Want to dominate, is that what you're saying?
No, I'd say women who have had their relationships impaired, their relationships with men impaired, and who are afraid of such relationships will settle for a weak partner because they can dominate, but it's a suboptimal solution.
Do you think that's what a lot of women are doing?
I think there's a substantial minority of women who do that, and I think it's very bad for them. They're very unhappy. It's very bad for their partners, although the partners get the advantage of not having to take any responsibility.
But what gives you the right to say that? I mean, maybe that's how women want their relationships, those women. I mean, you're making these vast generalizations.
I'm a clinical psychologist.
Right, so you're saying you've done your research
You're
and women are
psychologist.
unhappy dominating men.
I didn't say they were unhappy dominating men. I said it was a bad long-term solution.
Okay, you said it was
It's not
making
the
them
same
miserable.
thing. Yes, it is. And it depends on the time frame. I mean, there's intense pleasure in momentary domination. That's why people do it all the time. But it's no formula for a successful long-term relationship. That's reciprocal, right? Any long-term relationship is reciprocal, virtually by definition. So,
Let me put a quote to you from the book, where you say there are whole disciplines in universities forthrightly hostile towards men. These are the areas of study dominated by the postmodern neo-Marxist claim that Western culture in particular is an oppressive structure created by white men to dominate and exclude women. But then I want to put
minorities too. Dominate and exclude
Okay,
minorities
sure.
as well.
But I want to put to you that here in the UK, for example, let's take that as an example, the gender pay gap stands at just over 9%. You've got women at the BBC recently saying that the broadcaster is illegally paying them less than men to do the same job. You've got only 7 women running the top FTSE 100 companies.
Yeah.
So it seems to a lot of women that they're still being dominated and excluded, to quote your words back to you.
It does seem that way, but multivariate analysis of the pay gap indicate that it doesn't exist.
But that's
So
just
you
not
do
true,
you.
is it?
That's
I mean, that
absolutely
9% pay gap, that's a gap between median hourly earnings
Yeah.
between men and women.
But there's
That exists.
but there's multiple reasons for that. One of them is gender, but it's not the only reason. Like if you're a social scientist worth your salt, you never do a univariate analysis. Like you say, well, women in aggregate are paid less than men. Okay, well, then we break it down by age, we break it down by occupation, we break it down by interest, we break it down by personality.
But you're saying basically it doesn't matter if women aren't getting to the top, because that's what's skewing that gender pay gap, isn't it? You're saying, well, that's just a fact of
Not
life.
saying
Women
it
aren't
doesn't
necessarily
matter.
going to get to the top.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't matter either.
You're saying
I'm
it's a
saying
fact
there are
of life.
multiple reasons for it.
Yeah, but
and they
those
aren't being
reasons,
taken into
why
account.
should women put up with those reasons? Why should
Why should
women be
put up with it?
content
I'm not
not
saying
to
that
get
they
to
should
the top?
put up with it. I'm saying that the claim that the wage gap between men and women is only due to sex is wrong. And it is wrong.
It's very
There's no
wrong.
doubt about that. The multivariate analysis have been done. So I can give you an
You keep
example.
on talking about
Wait a second.
multivariate analysis.
Let me give you an
but
example.
I'm saying that 9% pay gap
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah.
That's a gap between men and women. I'm not saying why it exists, but it exists. Now,
Yeah, but
if
you
you're a
have to say
woman,
why
that
it
seems
exists.
pretty unfair.
You have to say why it exists.
But do you agree that it's unfair? If you're a woman,
Not necessarily.
and on average you're getting paid 9% less than a man, that's not fair, is it?
It depends on why it's happening. I can give you an example.
Exactly.
Okay. There's a personality trait known as agreeableness. Agreeable people are compassionate and polite. And agreeable people get paid less than less agreeable people for the same job. Women are more agreeable than men.
Again, a vast generalization. Some
It's
women
not
are
a
not more
generalization.
agreeable than
yes,
men.
that's true, but that's right. And some women get paid more than men.
So you were saying that by and large, women are too agreeable to get the pay rises they deserve.
No, I'm saying that that's one component of a multivariate equation that predicts salary. It accounts for maybe 5% of the variance, something like that.
So surely
you
the
need about
answer-
you need about another 18 factors, one of which is gender. And there is prejudice, there's no doubt about that, but it accounts for a much smaller proportion of the variance in the pay gap than the radical feminists claim.
Okay, so rather than denying the pay gap exists, which is what you did at the beginning of this conversation, shouldn't you say to women, rather than being agreeable and not asking for a pay rise, go and ask for a pay rise? Make yourself disagreeable with your boss.
Oh, definitely, there's that. But I also didn't deny it existed. I denied it existed because of gender.
Okay.
See, because I'm very, very, very careful with my words.
So the pay gap
Very
exists, you
careful,
accept
yes.
that. But you're
Yes.
saying, I mean, the pay gap between men and women exists, but you're saying it's not because of gender, it's because women are too agreeable to ask for pay rises. So
It's
make
one
them-
of the reasons.
Okay, one of the reasons. So why not get them to ask for a pay rise?
I've
Wouldn't
done
that
that.
be a fairer
I've done
way
that
of proceeding?
many, many times in my career.
And they just
I've
don't?
counseled. Oh, they do it all the time. You can. It's so. One of the things that you do as a clinical psychologist is assertiveness training. So you might say, often you treat people for anxiety, you treat them for depression, and maybe the next most common category after that would be assertiveness training. And so I've had many, many women, extraordinarily competent women, in my clinical and consulting practice, and we put together strategies for their career development that involve continual pushing, competing for higher wages, and often tripled their wages within a 5-year period, teaching
you
them how to
celebrate that?
negotiate. Of course.
So
Of
do
course.
you agree that you would be happy if that pay gap was eliminated completely?
It
Because
would
that's all
depend.
the radical feminists are saying.
It would depend on how it was eradicated and how the disappearance of it was measured.
You're
These
saying
things
if
you
it's at the
can't- you
cost
can't-
of men, that's a problem.
Oh, there's all sorts of things that it could be at the cost of. It could even be at the cost of women's own interests. So,
Because they might not be happy if they get equal pay.
no, because it might interfere with other things that are causing the pay gap that women are choosing to do.
Like having children.
Well, or choosing careers that actually happen to be paid less, which women do a lot of.
But why shouldn't women have the right to choose not to have children, or the right to choose those demanding
They
careers?
do. They can. Yeah, that's fine.
But you're saying that makes them unhappy, by and large.
I'm saying that no, I'm not saying that. And I actually haven't said that so far. in
You're
the
saying it
program.
makes them miserable.
Yes.
No, I
At the
said
beginning.
that what was
Putting
making
words
them
in his
miserable
mouth,
was
though,
having
because he
part-
hasn't
was
said
having weak
anything.
partners. That makes them miserable.
Right.
I would say that many women around the age of, I would say between 28 and 32, have a career family crisis that they have to deal with. And I think that's partly because of the foreshortened time frame that women have to contend with. Like, women have to get the major pieces of their life put together faster than men, which is also partly why men aren't under so much pressure to grow up. So because for the typical woman, she has to have her career and family in order pretty much by the time she's 35, because otherwise the options start to run out. And so that puts a tremendous amount of stress on women, especially at the end of their 20s.
I think I take issue with the idea of the typical
Sure.
woman, because, you know, all women are different. And that's what I want to just put another quote to you from the book.
Well,
You
they're
say,
different in some ways and the same in others.
Okay, you say women become more vulnerable when they have children.
Oh,
And
yes.
you talked in one of your YouTube interviews about crazy harpy sisters. So, simple question. Is gender equality a myth in your view? Is that something that's just never going to happen?
It depends on what you mean by equality. You know,
Being
if
treated
you mean that
fairly,
men and women
getting
are
the same opportunities?
fairly, we could get to a point where people were treated fairly or more fairly. I mean, people are treated pretty fairly in Western culture already, but we can.
But they're
improve
really
that.
not, though, are they? I mean, otherwise, why
depends.
would there only be 7 women running FTSE 100 companies in the UK? Why would there still be a pay gap, which we've
well,
discussed
that's
at length?
easy. That's easy
Why
to
are
answer
women
that
at the
question.
BBC saying that they're getting paid illegally less than men to do the same job?
Well,
That's not fair,
Well,
is
let's
it?
go to the first question. Those are complicated questions. Seven women. Repeat that one. There's
7
only
women running the top FTSE 100 companies in the UK.
Okay. Well, the
I mean,
first
that's not
question
fair.
might be, why would you want to do that?
Why would a man want to do it? I
Well,
mean, there's a lot of money.
there's
It's an interesting
there's a
job.
certain
you know?
number of men, although not that many, who are perfectly willing to sacrifice virtually all of their life to the pursuit of a high-end career. So they'll work. These are men that are very intelligent. They're usually very, very conscientious. They're very driven. They're very high energy. They're very healthy. And they're willing to work 70 or 80 hours a week, non-stop, specialized at one thing to get to the top.
So you're saying women are just more sensible. They don't want that because it's not a nice life.
I'm saying that's part of it, definitely. And so I work
So you
for...
don't think there are barriers in their way that prevent them getting to the top
Oh,
of
there
those
are some
companies?
barriers, yeah, like men, for example. I mean, to get to the top of any organization is an incredibly competitive enterprise. And the men that you're competing with are simply not going to roll over and say, please take the position.
So let me come back to my
absolute
question.
all-out warfare.
Is gender equality a myth?
I don't know what you mean by the question. Men and women aren't the same, and they won't be the same. That doesn't mean they can't be treated fairly.
Is gender equality desirable?
If it means equality of outcome, then almost certainly it's undesirable. That's already been demonstrated in Scandinavia. Because in
What do
Scandinavia...
you mean by that? Equality of outcome is undesirable.
Well, men and women won't sort themselves into the same categories if you leave them alone to do it of their own accord. We've already seen that in Scandinavia.
Yeah.
It's 20 to
Yeah.
1 female nurses to male, something like that. It might not be quite that extreme. And approximately the same male engineers to female engineers. And that's a consequence of the free choice of men and women in the societies that have gone
They all
farther
have
than any
different
other societies
choices,
to
different
make
lives.
gender equality the purpose of the law. Those are ineradicable differences. You can eradicate them with tremendous social pressure and tyranny. But if you leave men and women to make their own choices, you will not get equal outcomes.
Right, so you're saying that anyone who believes in equality, whether you call them feminists, call them whatever you want to call them, should basically give up because it ain't going to happen.
Only if they're aiming at equality of outcome.
So you're saying give people equality of opportunity, that's fine.
It's not only fine, it's eminently desirable for everyone, for individuals and for society.
But still women aren't going to make it. That's what you're really
It
saying.
depends on your measurement techniques. They're doing just fine in medicine. In fact, there are far more female physicians than there are male physicians. There are lots of disciplines that are absolutely dominated by women. Many.
Oh my gosh. It ended there.
Oh my god.
This feminism argument is always bring a lot of talk, honestly.
Honestly, yeah, and then gender equality too.
Yeah. I feel just like what Peterson is saying. When it comes to women and men, we all have different interests. Just like when I was younger, my siblings like playing ball, and I have a lot of brothers. So I play ball with them because they like it, not necessarily because I love it or stuff. I don't hate ball, but I prefer doing this house play that I'll make my own family and be playing like that. Because each time I play ball, I get hurt. I either hurt my leg or something, which is very stressful. And why do I want injury? They're just staying in the house and playing with dolls and stuff. So women tend to have different likes and dislikes for men, and just like the nursing owner, so you see majority of nurses are women than men. And engineering also, you see
A lot of male than female.
even those IT,
Yeah,
more male than female. So like it's just their like, it's their own perspective, and I feel gender also plays a role in it, but still you should not just base that men are more dominant.
Yeah, should.
It's just strange. Like, why would you put it on them? Like, what did they do? How did they cost it?
Yeah, sure.
Did they afford though?
No, not really. I get you.
How did they cost it though? What do you think?
Like I said, Peterson is a very intelligent person, and then this video made me know that he's actually a psychologist, because I mean he's so smart, and then the way he answers some questions, I feel he must have studied a lot about women, and psychology is going to give you that. I mean, it's going to make you understand how people think and understand
people,
kind of things here about the pay stuff. Where he was saying that some women are getting paid more than some women are getting. A woman said women are getting less pay for the same job, and women are getting. There's women too that are making it outside. Yeah, so it's not like anybody's being more bigger than anybody. Everybody's just their own in their own gender and making it in their own way. It's not really about if a man makes it, then you use that person to generalize that men do make it, or because I even feel men are being more stressed because they need to calm down and feed family, like think about their mom, their dad, like previous. I don't know how to put it. Like it's not just about their family, so they have a lot of bills to take care of. So I even feel it's a bit worth it though if they are being paid a bit much more than a lady. But I don't feel it should be equalized though, because I don't know why we're paying a guy and a certain amount of men are paying.
Just like what Peterson is saying, gender is a reason, but it's not like the whole reason why men are being paid more.
100%. No,
I say okay, gender is one reason. Women are more agreeable. Too, but it does not mean that just those two are the main reason why.
Yeah, it's true. You could actually beg a female that okay, these are the companies going through. Please collect this. But a man will tell you, oh no, I have family to take care of. If you don't want to give me this money, forget about it.
I will get a job. They would rather get a part-time job. Yeah, stay with you, give me them those chicken
changes, because they feel that they do work, and we ladies, we tend to see things that are actually heavy as these things, because I don't know, it's our nature, because we do
we are more persuasive.
And then we have a lot of things now, like giving birth, taking care of the children, but we still don't show this sign of, I don't know how to put it, tiredness or weakness. So if we could handling a job in the office is not really going to be a big deal. So you could just pressure them. As far as the money is able to do something for them, maybe they're cool with it. But guys are this kind of people that they want money to take care of themselves, and also they need to change behind. Women too are like that. Some women are like that. That's why it's not actually supposed to be a gender. Some women are like that, so they don't take shit. They'll tell you they have bills. And imagine a single mom working somewhere and she'll be like, I have my child.
Yeah, because she have bills.
Yeah, she has bills too. So I just feel it's never a matter of gender. I just feel it's personality something. It's individual something. It's not really about male or female, just what you feel as an individual.
What do you think?
Okay, I actually like this man. I really like him, and I like how he goes about his words. He knows what to say and when to say it and how to say it. I really like him so. And also talking about this gender thing, I think it depends on the individual you meet. And from what the lady was saying, I think she was talking about based on someone's research, or maybe probably a research that was organized, saying ladies are less paid as compared to males. But I think it's just the research and just some particular samples, not the whole total population. So, well, that's why research isn't 100%. So it's cool.
Okay. I should just feel they should stop putting this mentality in youngest her, thinking that if you're in this society, men will always dominate you. It makes them feel like men are the people they're supposed to. Like you are going against a war with a man, but you're going against a war with yourself.
But mind you, what this argument is all about too, it also has another positive side also. It conscientizes the ladies that fine, we ladies are less paid as compared to men. So as you're saying, we are easily persuaded and also to agree to this. It makes us conscious that fine, if I go and I'm being persuaded to take this particular amount, I have this chance of also bringing up certain things.
That's exactly what she was saying.
What I want. So I think in a way it's also good as trying to conscientize us that we can still perceive for more and also
stop agreeing on things if it does not suit your own interest. Then complain that men are dominating. They didn't do anything though. They just speak for themselves. So
it's good in a way, it's bad in a way. Let's take it out.
So guys, thank you for recommending this. Like even after watching it, we still had a lot of things to talk about with ourselves. It was very interesting. Checking out Jordan Peterson's video is always so interactive. You get to talk about a lot of things because it's educative and he understands each topic he's speaking about and he knows how to handle the questions. So guys, please let us know what you think about our reaction in the comment section. Even to Marvel, please make sure to like, subscribe and share our videos. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.